A lot of people have the skills to be a coach. They have their expertise. But the difference between having an expertise and being ready to go out and be a coach and start a coaching business, there's a lot involved there. My guest today helps people figure out how to go from I know enough to be helpful to I know how to do that in a way that's really going to help. So would you please welcome to our stage here at Business Advantage XYZ, Stephanie O'Brien. Stephanie, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really looking forward to this.
Great, great. So I'm kind of curious how you got started in this because I don't know anyone else who does what you do. And I know a lot of coaches, so it's kind of amazing I haven't come across someone who does what you do.
It actually started with me being a novelist. I wrote my first full-length novel when I was 12 years old. It was a terrible novel. Mom told me, don't delete it. I told her, I swear, no, it's so terrible. I'll never want to look at it again.
But you were
Mother knows
12.
best. Yeah, mother knows best. But yeah, mom actually was the one who got me into coaching. She became a coach, and as the family's most prolific novel writer, I've written 14 novels and counting. I kind of followed her into it to learn how to use my fiction writing skills for nonfiction, for business. So I started studying under people like Brendan Normans, Ted McGrath, Callan Rush, Justin Livingston, and learning how to kind of be the universal translator between all this coach speak I was hearing and regular person speak. Coaches would be saying stuff like, I can help you shift your paradigms. And I'm going, you with your training understand why that's significant. You can mentally tie that to a result that's worth paying for. The layperson might not be able to. So I kind of became the universal translator, taking their coach speak and translating it into here are the results that you actually care about, and here's how I'll help you get them. So I did that for a few years, but I realized, with my novel writing experience and taking this huge amount of information, breaking it down into a coherent flow, with my experience as a client of coaches, seeing what went right, what went wrong, what changed my life, what left me pulling my hair out and feeling ripped off. And of course, with that universal translator experience, I realized I could bring that all together to help coaches to quickly and easily turn their expertise into a coaching program. I also had experience with, knowing how to ask the right questions to draw people's expertise out of their heads. It's so easy for it to all go into hiding when you're looking at a blank screen, or for it to become so second nature that you know how to do the thing, but you don't remember all the little details of how to do it. It's because you just kind of do it automatically, or you don't know how to teach someone who doesn't have it as second nature. So yeah, I realized I could put all those skills together, and I'd actually been planning to do a done for you coaching program creation service. But then I found that just in the process of being on the call with them and taking all the notes, I was kind of just creating it for them right there on the call. So I figured, why not do that? And then they get the result right away.
Especially since, as we talked, I was shocked to find out how long it takes you. Let my audience know, how long do you spend with someone to help them go from, I think I would like to be a coach to having an understanding of what that looks like and ready to start?
They don't usually start with just thinking maybe I'd like to be a coach, but they usually have kind of made the decision I want to share my expertise with people. I want to change lives with my expertise. They just don't know how to take all this expertise and actually explain it in a way that people can act on it, break it down into this component steps that people need to take, and how to decide what to include in the program and what to exclude, because what to exclude is also pretty important. You don't want to have so much superfluous information that people feel like they overpaid for stuff that they don't want. Not to mention how to structure it, how to price it. There's a lot that goes into it. So yeah, I mostly work with people who have life-changing expertise, strategies that could transform lives. They just don't know how to actually turn it into a marketable program with all the logistics that go into it. So it does tend to take me about 90 minutes, once I've made
That's
that
where I was getting
decision.
to.
Yeah.
90 minutes is
So yeah,
amazing. You kind of do that
sorry, that was a bit of a long answer, but I wanted to make sure that I was getting an accurate answer,
with
with
good reason.
misunderstandings.
Sure. Yeah, to find out what is going into that call. That's what I was going to kind of have you tell us next, but you've already done that. Uh, it, so let's go back to what the include and exclude. Where do people get in their own way with that and make the problems happen?
I'll give an example from my own experience. As a fiction writer, I was having a hard time translating marketing principles for nonfiction to fiction because, fiction doesn't necessarily solve a problem or create an outcome. So I bought this program that promised to tell me how to market my fiction writing. Well, you know how partway through some programs they hit the refund deadline? By the time I hit the refund deadline on this thing, I had pretty much exclusively learned how to outsource the writing of and market nonfiction books. They had a
Uh,
little section for marketing fiction books, but it was mostly outsourcing the writing and marketing for stuff that I wasn't even writing at the time. So I didn't feel like I got more value. I felt ripped off because I have had no intention of outsourcing my writing. Writing's something I did for the joy of it. I'm not outsourcing that. So yeah, I didn't. I felt like I should have paid a tiny fraction of the price and gotten a tiny fraction of the information instead of paying a bunch of money for stuff I didn't even want.
Although in the long run, maybe it was a good investment because it helped you find all this realization that you've had about what you should be doing that they didn't provide for you.
Well, they were still trying to get me to outsource the writing of nonfiction books, so
Ah,
that's still something I still haven't used and don't really plan to.
makes sense. So give me an example of one of your clients who came to you saying, I want to be a coach, but I don't know where I'm going. What kind of a success story in your history?
Yeah, usually with my success stories, they do tend to have already decided they want to be a coach. But yeah,
Right.
with people who come to me, I have had some people come to me who are just getting into coaching and they have all this expertise. They just have no idea how to turn it into a package. Like, what do I say to my potential clients to make them want to work with me? What kind of offer should I even make? Should I make like a low ticket offer, a high ticket one? Should I make a variety? So yeah, I kind of help them to figure out, what is it that your clients can afford? What is it that they want? What do they need at each stage of their journey? A couple of success stories I've had. One person, she was partway through making a coaching program. It was going to be a 3 month coaching program, but she didn't know what to put in the last couple of weeks of it. She'd figured out like 2.5 months of this 3 months coaching program. But in the first 10 minutes of our call, I helped her figure out what she could put in the program to make it valuable for her clients, to make them more likely to get results. Another good success story, actually my favorite success story, this person came to me. She had like 3 days to create a coaching program. Some people
Whoa.
I've talked to, they take weeks, months. I've even heard of people who had been working on it for years. But she had 3 days because she's just met this group of potential clients and they wanted her to present to them on Monday. It was Friday.
Oh, wow. At least she had a weekend to work on it.
Yeah, so she contacts me, hey, can we get on a call today or tomorrow? And of course, I don't like to schedule stuff on Saturday, so I got her a call with her that day, and in 90 minutes, we designed her coaching program. We figure out the duration, the price, the teaching points, what all she was gonna, how she was gonna get them to implement those teaching points, the exercises, the selling points that we. So we got on the call, and by the time that call was done, she had something that she was ready to sell.
Let's talk a little bit more about the pricing packages. Is there a different way that everybody should look at it based on what they do, or is there a certain set of things that you tend to recommend, and once people understand it, they can see themselves in it?
For the pricing, it's really important to look at a few factors. One is how many hours are you actually spending on your business per week? Another is how many of those hours are actually spent serving clients and getting paid as opposed to all these other things that you need to get
Sure.
done, but you don't get directly get paid for. And of course, how much do you want to get paid per week? So, one exercise I've seen is you break it down into thirds. Like you look at how many hours you can realistically devote to your business, and then estimate approximately a third of them is going to be stuff that you're actually getting paid for. So, how much do you need to get paid per hour in order to make your target income in a third of your working hours per week? And so that's your baseline. I need to get paid this much per hour price. And then you can determine the price of the program based on that, partly on that, and partly, of course, the value you give. The more value you give, the more you can charge for it. The more access to yourself it includes, the more you can charge. Okay, if you want to let people have a taste of your expertise or start changing their lives, but they can't really afford your one-on-one time, you can, make a pre-recorded training program as opposed to a coaching program, sell that for a song, or make a group program where the per hour cost is being separated between a bunch of different people who are all paying you simultaneously. But you also want to charge more for your one on one time. You charge at least that target hourly rate or higher for your one on one time. So those are some of the factors to consider.
And do you recommend that if someone buys a bigger package, they're kind of getting a better per hour rate on average because they're buying a bigger package, or does that get into trouble?
You do still need to make your target income per hour, but if you're, say, charging above that target minimum income for a smaller package, then yeah, you can, bring it down to that target minimum income for a larger package. And of course, you can also add other things to boost the value, like, say, bonuses like scripts, templates, checklists, recipes if you're a health coach. You can also add other non-time consuming stuff to boost that per hour value without having to devalue your personal time and interaction.
You mentioned the health coach, and I was about to ask, what are some of the different kinds of coaching that you help people create their practices for?
There's health coaching, relationship coaching, mindset coaching. I do sometimes work with business coaching, but honestly, most of the business coaches in my inbox are trying to sell to me, not buy from me. But yeah, and with mindset coaches especially, I think that my skill set's especially good for those, just because it's so easy for a mindset coach to forget that people don't know what they know. So they tell people stuff like, "Notice what limiting beliefs you have." Buddy, your clients don't necessarily know the difference between a limiting belief and a fact. If they knew it was just a limiting belief, they wouldn't need you as much.
Right. And even if they knew the difference, they might not see it without having a little outside perspective. Uh, do you sometimes get people who've been in business a while, but just know it's not working well and you kind of get them in shape?
Yeah, mostly the part that's not working is just they've been working on their coaching program for weeks and weeks and weeks, and they've realized this ain't going anywhere. Like I'm not going to be able to finish this in a timely manner on my own. I'm just getting stuck. I'm maybe getting bogged down in perfectionism, procrastination, or maybe I've just kind of run out of ideas and I want there to be more in this coaching program, but I don't know what else to add. So having that outside perspective, I find can really jumpstart it. Or sometimes, figuring out, why don't people want to buy this? Why am I trying so hard to make them see the value when they just won't see the value? So I help them to see, okay, here's where you're talking about what sounds valuable to you, but actually means relatively little to them. Here's how we figure out what they really want and how you talk about it. I can give you an example if you want of marketing messages like that. The
Okay.
one marketing message I've seen over and over, it's been in my inbox too many times. Do you want to fill your client or do you want to fill your calendar with hot leads who are ready to buy? No, absolutely not. For one thing, if my calendar is full of people who are ready to buy, where am I going to find time for the people who already bought? What I want is to fill the work hours of my calendar with people who have already bought. And I think that's a perfect example of the trap so many coaches fall into. They talk about something that sounds attractive, but it's actually what people need in order to get what they want, not what the people actually want. Hot leads who are ready to buy is a step toward what people actually want, but what people actually want is clients who have already bought.
That's an important distinction. I like the way you word that.
Thank
Anything
you.
else you want to share before I ask people how they can get in touch with you?
Um, yeah, I'd like to share that if you have expertise that can help people make even one positive change, you don't need to know everything. You don't need to know every single answer to every situation. As long as you know something, a strategy, a skill that can help people to make their lives better in some way, you can improve their lives, and they need you to do that. You're not doing them a service by holding it back. And you don't have to be the most knowledgeable person in the world or even in a room full of experts. You just need to be the most knowledgeable person in a room full of the average person because that's who your ideal clients are. You're probably not marketing to other coaches unless you're a business coach for coaches. You're marketing to other people who don't know what you know. And chances are you have a lot more expertise than you realize and a lot more depth and breadth of knowledge than you realize. And I can help you to draw that out. That's one of the main things I do is help people to draw out and realize just how much expertise they have. So yeah, if you're ever doubting that you have enough information for a coaching program, I'd love to get on the call with you, and chances are you'll find out you're more of an expert than you thought.
Oh, I love that because you're right. It's so easy to underestimate the things we take for granted. Like, well, everybody knows that. And no, they don't. And you can be the one that could make all the difference for them as a coach. Stephanie, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
The best way, I've got a page on the contact page on my website. There you can find my email address and all my social media accounts. So you can just pick the method of getting in touch with me that works best for you.
Great. And for anyone who might be just listening and not seeing this, that is coachclientconnection.com. Stephanie, it's been a pleasure having you on and sharing what could make a difference in a lot of coaches' lives.
Now, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
We'll be back another time to bring more to the world of business advantage and the people who can help you get there. Thanks for being with us. I'm Milo Shapiro, public speaking coach with publicdynamics.com. Till next time, take care.